looking to go and find a squat rack or a bench press spotters rack and you can't locate one, or you can, whether it's online or not, and you're spending a fortune for it, it's more than 2 or 3 times it normally was priced, I'm going to show you why you can't make your own for under $100. This was 80 and change. Let me tell you what you need. What I have here, and these were already pre-cut, 4 feet long, which was perfect size. It's made more sense, was cleaner. It was only a couple dollars more at the lumber store. I have 2 sets of 2x4s, 4 feet long, and there's 5 in each set. I also have an extra 2 pieces of 2x4, 4 feet. So that's a total of 12 pieces that we need that are 2x4s, 4 feet long. I have 3 of these, which are 2x4, 2 feet long, 3 of these. I have wood glue. For screws, you want to make sure you get the screws all the way through, and you're going to use the glue and screw method. So I have number 14 times by 2.5, obviously wood screws. For the joust plates or the connectors for the support, I have 4 L shape and 4 flat, and these are very cheap. And with those, you want to use these connector screws. They are actually have what do you call it? An octagon, a hex head. It's different. It's going to go through each of these holes, and it's going to give extra support. And last but not least, I bought metallic silver paint. So it has a kind of a metal look to it, but you don't have to paint it if you don't want to paint it. It's all up to you. With tax and all, this was just 90 and change. Without tax, it was $80 and change. So, let's begin. Alright, so let's talk about sizing now. Right now, I'm concentrating on the flat and the incline bench press. I'm deciding to not go with adding a squat rack piece to this unit because it'd be too large where I want to have it put. I need at least 5 foot 3 inches height for the squat, and right now where it's going to be located, I don't want to go that high with this. So if you want to do that, it's just a matter of buying it's a matter of buying 4 8 2x4s, and you have enough wood and some extra left over to go 5'4", 5'3", whatever size is appropriate for you for the squat rack. Now for the bench press component, and again, just let me stress, you can always add to this. It's always add. You can always add and extend it to however you want it. That's what's great about this. It is versatile. So let's go with sizing here. For me personally, when I size this out, so this is out of 4-piece wood. I have it actually sized the way I want it to. So I want to actually go from this line here, which is 3 feet. This will be for the flat bench. This part here I'm cutting off. This is how I measured it. So I jagged the pieces of the 2x4, 4 feet lumber, jagged it the way how I want to have it cut. I just can get some easier way to not only see what needs to be cut, but to actually measure it properly. So here I'm going 3 feet, and this is where the bar is going to actually sit. This here I'm going to cut off, and I want 1.5 inches between here and here, where this line is right here, this top line here. I want 1.5 inches. And what I'm going to do, that will be safety, so the bar has plenty of room, so it won't roll off. And I'm going to slightly angle it, as you can see right here. It's a slight angle, and this is the line right here. So when you put the bar and you want to put back, it's easy just to roll in there. Just easier than making sure you go over the flat lip. This part here would be the back part of it, and this would be for the incline. So when you have it inclined, you're going to be up a little bit more, so you need a little bit more height. So here I have it at, as you can see, this inner piece here, from this line here I have it here. It's 3 feet 10 inches tall. That gives me that difference I need when I'm on an incline. As with the flat bench on the incline, I'm giving myself the same thing, 1.5 inches to right here, this top line here. And I'm going to angle it at the same reason I angled this piece here, just so it's easier when you put the weights back that you know it's going to fall into place. And you have that 1.5 inch gap in here for the barbell. And this will be the back plate of it, or the back piece of wood, which will hold it, same as this piece would here hold the barbell. Okay, so now I'm going to start cutting. And again, these are the 5 pieces that were originally 4 feet and it long and at 2x4s. Okay, as you can see, I've cut all the lumber to its proper size. Now I'm stacking. So I'm doing one side first, then the other side. So as I stack each layer, for this would be the flat bench, and then the incline will be up here. As you can see, the rest of the wood just gets stacked simply. I put glue, wood glue, inside here. I stack it. I drill pilot holes for the screws, and these are heavy-duty wood screws. And I screw them in. And then once they're in, I put another layer of glue inside here. Put another layer of the wood on top of it, the right size. I drill 4 holes to make sure you jagger the holes so you don't hit the holes, or the screws I should say, that's already on this particular stud. So I screw it in, and then I'm going to keep on layering it. Now I'm going to put glue on this side here, like this. I got the wood. Now you don't want the glue to go past to where the next piece is going to be. And again, this is a shorter piece because this is where the barbell is going to rest on. So I'm going to just lay it on top, as such. Some of the glue will squeeze out, just wipe down the sides if it does. And then I start making holes. First I mark where I want to drill the pilot holes. I make sure they're nowhere near the original screws, or the last screws were. Four holes, then I drill them, and then the same process until I finish this side of the rack. These are the racks. The racks have been completed. They were painted in metallic paint to give it almost like a stainless steel look, just for effect. You could just leave it plain without any, without painting it plain wood, whatever you like. It's standing up on its own, not even leaning against anything, so it's actually very well balanced and very strong. And put a lot of weight on this. How much weight? I don't know, but wood holds a lot of weight, and these are really strong, at least for the application that I needed for. These are going to actually go on top of a base, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is the base where the rack that you just saw a moment ago is going to be mounted to. Now, it weighs a lot of weight, because again, the wood's heavy, the wood is strong, and you want it to be. This is going to go downstairs to my my workout area, my gym area I have in my basement. So I want to actually have it where it's also space efficient. If I want to, for other uses of the bench, to not have the rack near it, or to store it away when need be. How do we do that? Well, here's what I thought doing. The rack will be mounted here and here, and on the base. So the base is really the bulk of it. So it takes up the most space. What about put a hinge here? I'm going to use a barrel bolt across here. And what I plan to do is this will hold it in place. And when I'm done, or I want to move the whole rack system, I just push the bolt back, take this with the rack attached to it, put it in another room, put it against the wall, away from everything else. Over here, I'll just be lifting this up on the hinge and moving the rack and its base the same way. Out of way, so it's space efficient. Now we're ready to start assembly of the rack. I have it in here, 23 inches from the end here
And here's where you're going to balance most of the weight. And I got struts that are going to go there, which is right here. And I countersink the holes. Put a nice angle. I'm also now going to countersink underneath it. I already marked it, and put 3 heavy-duty wood screws in here. I'm going to countersink it, because this way it goes on the floor. If the heads stick out of the screws, it's not going to go and mess up the, if you have carpet in your basement or linoleum or whatever, it's not going to ruin it.
Okay, always add wood glue as you are assembling with the screws. So now I have
The 3 countersink holes. I also drilled a pilot hole to make the screws easier to go in, but you don't want them too easy either. And now I'm just going to go and move this gently so I don't lose alignment. And again, I have it marked. And I'm going to go and put glue in here, and then I'm going to screw it nice and tight.
to make this more secure.
I'm putting these braces on both sides, right and left on each tower.
This is virtually the complete project. Now, I've got these struts
with buttresses on the side, extra support. I have on the bottoms here, on both inside and outside, I have these brackets. Again, I have this piece here, which enables you to move the to take apart
the rack for better storage. That being said, we're going to test it, and if it needs further refinement, we'll do it there. Or we'll do it then, I should say. So that's where we are. Next, the actual test it in the real world. Welcome to my gym basement. As you saw in the last clip, I made mention that as you go along and start building the rack, you can notice there's going to be some changes from the original design. It's almost a prototype as it goes through development. And I need more stability. So I actually got a couple more 2x4s and put, as you can see, platforms down here where the rack will rest on. And in addition to what I originally showed about the stability, added extra stability and enables you to move the rack. This still applies. This might be overkill, I admit to that, because even on its own, it's secure with these bottoms here, or I should say these platforms that have the rack residing on. But anyway, this also makes it easier to distance it properly every single time you set up the rack. So it does have a good purpose. I've used this already for about a month since the last clip, and this is working very well. So one of the things I did notice was the back portion of the rack here, when I do an incline, wasn't high enough. So I actually wanted to build it up a little higher than the original measurements. So I took a scrap piece of 2x4. It's about 1.5 inches, maybe just under 2 inches that I had, and I actually glued it and nailed it, and then I actually put some wood putty here to give it a more seamless look, sanded it down, and then painted it, and it's solid. So when I doing an incline, and I got the bench up, and I put the weights, it hits here, and I bring the bar down. Just an additional safety precaution. You don't have to have it, but I felt more comfortable knowing that if I'm not really looking at it that well, I could hear the barbell hit the back, and I rest it accordingly. So as you can see, it's pretty much exactly how the original design was, where I have it's all really secured. I actually put in these struts or buttresses in by heel and toe screws. So as you can see, it's at a slight angle, and it's very secure. And again, I also use glue. So everything that's here it's either nailed, but mostly screwed on with glue.
So it's very secure. Very few nails were actually used, except for the top part here. But the rest has been all screws, and it's really solid, and it's not going to go anywhere. And although I can't tell you how much weight you can put on this, because I haven't weight tested it, I'm not looking to use this personally for powerlifting when I was younger. So I'm looking to do standard weights, which I'm comfortable with in terms of hypertrophy and any type of sets like that, drop sets, etc. But I'm not looking to put a ton of weight, even though this is pretty strong. It can hold a lot of weight. That being said, as always, you got to be careful. You got to understand what your limitations are of how much weight you can put on when you build a homemade rack. You got to test it, make sure it's secure. Always be safe. It's like any time you lift. You always have to be safe and make sure you're doing it properly. You don't want to get hurt. Let me demonstrate how it works. I'm going to do a flat, then I'm going to do an incline. Now for the incline. As you can see, it works well. You can even raise your bench even higher on an incline. Just of course, like you would do at the gym, in a situation like this, you would just adjust the bench and move it back more. And another thing, if you're looking to get, I'm using Easy Curl bar, as you can see. To me, it's got a lot of different applications. I like it very much. But if you want to have a straight, long barbell, again, you don't have to connect it in the back, that extra piece I have. You can just disconnect it and pull this out a little further. It'd be steady enough. But again, as always, be careful. So you can adjust it. You want more room here if you want, you can. But be careful how you do it. Make sure it's steady. Make sure you're on a steady floor. Make sure you built it properly. And make sure you have the right amount of weight on there. Again, this can hold pretty much a good substantial amount of weight. It's solid. It's 2x4s. Again, it's all screwed in with a lot of wood glue. So it's a solid piece of equipment here. That cost $100. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Also, you may want to go and see my video on how to build a lat pull-down bar for just under $30. And thanks for watching.